What's going on, guys? So this is my iZombie review, and man, oh man, a lot of freaking stuff happened in this episode, and we're gonna talk about it, but the biggest life lesson from this episode was that don't be a womanizer unless you want to have the best freaking Hellraiser cosplay ever. Seriously, that freaking preschool or kindergarten teacher got around a lot, and man, did he get fucked up. Although homeboy was a womanizer, I gotta say, hey man, shout out to you for, you would be categorized as a guy that is soft, but you got ladies. Props to you, bro. Okay, let's actually go ahead and get into the episode. And let's start off with, that not-so-favorite zombie, used-to-be zombie man, I should say, Blaine. A lot of people like him now, a lot of people don't like him, whatever. I don't care how you feel about freaking Blaine. But let's go ahead and talk about him, because, man, we got a taste of freaking emo Blaine. And, man, you would have thought that Blaine, old-school Blaine, before going into all the, old-school Blaine, you felt like would have just capitalized on this stuff, like he wouldn't let anything get him down, but it seems like he's actually genuinely upset that him and Peyton are no longer together. This does not seem like Blaine at all. He's actually just like emo Blaine, and like, I'm sad, my girlfriend left me. Seriously though, Blaine was literally just down in the dumps and everybody was just freaking kicking him this whole episode. Liv actually said, or not said, but literally punched him in the face and gave him a crazy shiner because she thought he was the one that stole the freaking, formula, or I should say cure. But, yeah, apparently it wasn't him. He got him when Liv punched him. That whole group of people in the background was making fun of him because he got beat up by a girl. But you know what? Technically, I know a lot of people would laugh at that, but seriously, there's a lot of badass women out there, and you shouldn't stereotype. But women can kick your ass. That girl Catherine Winnick, or the one that's in Vikings. She's actually like a 20-degree black belt, and she's super sexy, but she'll kick your ass. I legit just tried to fit Catherine Winnick in this video because I absolutely love her, and she just said she's going to be at Comic-Con, and I'm going to be at Comic-Con, and I hope I can go to that panel and see her, because she's awesome. Anyways, back on track to very emo Blaine. So we saw him get beat up by Liv. We saw him, just singing all sad songs about Peyton. And then, freaking, he wasn't even able to run his business very well, which you thought from the last episode he was actually going to start making his business good again because he was creating, freaking Ravi's formula and all that jazz. But apparently not. No, he's just super depressed, and he's just there, and he didn't do anything, and his one person that was still by his side, which was that girl Candy, I believe her name was, she left too. But I gotta say, I get why she left, because Blaine was all like, oh, I never really cared that you were there anyways, like, ooh, cold-blooded, bro. But anyways, so he kind of got what he was coming to him, and then freaking Donnie ended up buying the rest of his freaking stock of brains, and now, Blaine doesn't really have a business anymore. And on top of all of that, freaking Blaine got shot by his dad's bodyguard and was gonna get blasted in the face too, and he's dying, he's literally dying on the ground, because remember, he's human again, he's not a zombie. He's all like, I got money. Where's that money coming from? Is it the brain business money? Or does he have extra money somehow? Pretty sure it's just the money from the brain business, but it's gonna be interesting to see what happens now that Blaine has technically lost everything, and he's probably gonna make a deal with this guy that was gonna kill him, that was his dad's bodyguard, and maybe he's gonna go into hiding for some reason, because, his dad's not gonna be happy that the bodyguard didn't kill him, so that guy's gonna have to be like, oh yeah, I took care of it, and Blaine's gonna go off and hide somewhere, probably come up with a master plan to beat his dad. But, yeah, it's going to be really interesting. And do you think that Blaine will become a zombie again, or is he just going to get that freaking hole in his stomach patched up and continue to live like a freaking human? It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. How many times have I said interesting in this video? Also, I also had a theory that Donnie was eventually going to get back with Blaine and they were going to go against his dad, but Donnie seems like he's having a pretty solid life right now, so maybe he's not going to be going against Blaine, or he's going to, yeah, Blaine's dad. Maybe he won't betray Blaine's dad after all. Speaking of Donnie, we can go ahead and cross him off the list of people who stole Ravi's cure from his desk, but if it's not Blaine and it's not Donnie, who could it be? I would think Blaine's dad, because maybe Blaine's dad wants to be human again, but I don't know. How does Blaine's dad know about the cure? Unless Donnie told him, and Donnie was all like, oh yeah, we can start making money this way. So my next best suspect would be freaking Blaine's dad. Don't forget, he's got that big muscle gorilla guy, and he could probably just have him go to Ravi's freaking desk and rip it open and be like, I got the cure right here, boss. It's possible, and I guess the only other person I could think of besides Blaine's dad that would steal the cure would be the guy that's keeping Natalie captive, because if Natalie actually took the cure and she's human again, that dude, who I believe is a zombie as well, would be like, I need this shit too, and he would probably find out that, you know, it came from Major knows, you know, knows Ravi, you know, it could trickle down that way. So it could be that guy, but I still think the second best person would be Blaine's dad. Let's go ahead and freaking talk about the lovely Rose McIver, because I always like talking about her personalities in this episode. Since she had to be on Womanizer Brain, she only did the very, like, caring, like, kindergarten funny parts. I didn't see her trying to hook up with ladies or anything, and I'm really surprised she didn't try to hook up with that, what's his name? Justin, I think his name was, Major's friend, which, I don't know how you guys feel, but I don't really go after my friends' girls, like, especially their exes, like, you know what I mean? I don't know how you are, maybe some of you are different, but I don't like, I just cross those kind of women off of my radar if they dated my boys, because I feel like even if they're like, nah man, it's totally cool, I feel like there's always something bad that could happen there. Anyways, again, Rose McIver, always hilarious with all these different personalities. I'm extremely excited for next week's episode because she's gonna be like a jackass personality, and I'm really excited to see that. But this one, we got to see her just being like really goofy and like very kindergarten teacher, which I thought was pretty hilarious. I'm just like, every time she blows my damn mind with all the different personality and quirks that she has to do. I don't know, I just absolutely love Rose McIver, and it adds this, such awesomeness to this show. Enough of me gushing over Liv, but I will say, you know how she always makes her dishes? Did she just make freaking PB&J sushi? That is something I totally need to try. I know it's still gonna freaking taste the same, but damn, that just looked cool and interesting. But jumping from Liv to Justin, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't want Liv, not really a fan of Liv actually dating somebody again, especially another zombie. She doesn't have good track records with that, and she even talked about that in this episode. But let's just chill, Rose. Like, just wait. I said Rose, Liv. You know what I mean? Just give it some time, all right? You got the chance to find the freaking cure. Let's find the cure, and then you and Major can be together, okay? You don't need to go. Why would you do that, Rose? Oh, I keep saying Rose. I meant to say Liv. Why would you do it? You're this close to actually becoming human if you find the cures. Don't get into another relationship. That's gonna make things really weird between you and Major. Speaking of Major, we found out that he's gonna stay with the whole little military group, and that's not very good for him because they go into crazy freaking worlds or crazy situations. He's a human. One shot could literally kill him now, instead of, you know, all these stabs and stuff like he did in the first mission he went on. But hey, he doesn't want to tell anybody, and he's asked Justin to keep it a secret, so that's going to be really interesting to see what kind of dangerous situations freaking Major gets into, which we saw at the end of the episode, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Actually, I'll talk about it right now, and I don't know why they did this. I know Justin got a phone call, and they're like, all right, yeah, we got that tracker, we got to go do this, and they went to go, you know, pay a visit to our Trump supporter friends that are killing zombies, and they met them in a dark, dark road. I don't know why. I guess I gotta rewatch the episode, or you guys can let me know in the comment section down below, but I don't really know why they went after that guy, or if those guys were trying to hunt down Major and them. I don't really know what the situation was there, but I guess they were trying to capture them in the act of killing zombies, because they did have a tracker in there, remember when they messed with the radio and everything. But things didn't go as planned, and they tried to back up. They end up running over Justin. He goes all crazy zombie mode, and they freaking get zombie footage on their GoPro. Like, I don't know why they wouldn't have thought of that. Like, I don't know why, you know, Major and Justin didn't think about them possibly having cameras. These guys want proof of this, and now they have proof, and that's just gonna make things so much worse. So with that proof of zombies, the show's just gonna get really interesting, because now you're gonna have a bunch of crazy people like, we gotta go shoot zombies, man, look at this, they exist, what? Which again, Liv, don't get into a relationship with this guy, because now his face is gonna be all over the freaking zombie hunting websites, and he's probably gonna get shot and killed again, and bada bing bada boom, for the third time in a row, your zombie boyfriend's dead. Now let's jump over to Peyton, because she actually had a lot of airtime in this episode, and things got a little interesting with her, and I brought this up in the last video, and I was talking about how that dominatrix case, they're bringing it up for a reason, and something's gonna happen with it, and we saw what happened with it in this freaking episode. We saw that guy confess, and Peyton was like, there's not really much evidence here. His lawyer was all like, look, there's something going on here. He doesn't want to give out the memory card. We need to figure out what's going on. Peyton was like, bring him to me, because of course when you see a beautiful face like Peyton's, you're just gonna say things and probably do things too. So she joins the fight, but then a freaking big old lawyer comes up in there and he's like, I'm taking this case over, and just tells that guy something in his ear, and the guy's all like, nope, I'm not gonna do anything, I'm switching lawyers, blah, blah, blah. And that just blows everything out of the freaking water, and he's all like, so what do we got going on here? And Peyton's like, oh, murder, something, something, blah, 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 million years in prison or whatever. And that guy's like, we're okay with that, case closed, I'm outie. Just like that, and then we find out later in the episode that dude that confessed hung himself. So, it makes you wonder, what the hell is on that memory card? I asked you guys that question. There has to be something really important on that memory card that this guy is willing to confess and kill himself over. And it makes you think, who has the power to actually do that to somebody? And oh man, I think the person behind all of that craziness and this dominatrix case is Mr. Boss. That's right, I think it's freaking Mr. Boss behind all of that stuff. Don't forget that he has a past with Peyton and he wants her dead, so it wouldn't be surprising that he's all like, oh, Peyton's on this case, let me fuck some shit up. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Mr. Boss was actually going to this dominatrix lady, or something was going on there, and he's all like, hell no, I cannot have anybody know that memory card exists. Ooh, things are about to get juicy. Speaking of juice, that's me, but also freaking we saw Ravi messing with his brain juice again. When it came to Peyton, she was all like, look, this guy killed himself, I need to know what's going on. So they're soaking his brain in there. Well, Ravi's all like, do you need to know this brain stuff right away? Is it urgent? And then she was like, not really. And of course, Liv wasn't there, so she couldn't just gobble up the brain. But they're gonna soak it in Ravi's brain juice with all his electrifying stuff. And he's going to get like super mega visions, or I should say Liv is going to get the super mega visions to find out what's actually on that memory card probably, and why that guy killed himself. So shit is getting good on this show, man. I love it. I love mysteries and things that are coming about. But again, moral of the story, guys, and life lesson is don't be a womanizer unless you want to freaking end up with the best Hellraiser cosplay ever. Anyways, guys, let me know what you thought about this episode and everything I talked about in this video in the comment sections down below. Don't forget, we still have a freaking giveaway going on. This might actually be the last video before the giveaway ends, so make sure you hit that giveaway link for your chance at winning a Samsung Gear VR. Also, if you want to be a super badass and help support the channel like these awesome people did, you can go out and check the Patreon. There's a link in the description for that as well, or you can do the super OG thing and give this video a like if you like the video and share it with all your iZombie buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always, I am your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. If I'm a daily dose of juice, see you guys next time. Bye!